Let's get right out to our Steve Liesman live in Jackson Hole with Chicago Fed President Austan Goolsbee. Steve.
Hey, Frank, thanks very much. We are here with Austan Goolsbee, the Chicago Fed President, with a nicer background than we normally have.
You can't beat that. Reminds me of Chicago.
Exactly. How so? No, never mind. Fed Chair Jay Powell saying today the time has come to adjust policy. Your general thoughts, do you agree with that?
Well, it was very forward. It was very clear. I thought he gave an excellent speech. I usually don't like saying tying our hands, before a meeting. But I've been saying for some time, if you take the level of tightness that the Fed has set, Fed funds minus inflation, that's as high as it's been in decades. And you only want to be that tight on purpose if you're trying to cool an overheating economy. And this is not overheating. So I think the general notion that we want to be careful, as Chair Powell said, about the employment side of the mandate, too. We're not just fighting inflation now. Inflation's on a path to 2%. I totally agree with.
You're one of the originators of this idea of what I guess people call passive tightening. Can you explain that to people, why that matters and how that's happened, that you've gotten tighter?
The basic idea is what matters for the economic decision making of if you're going to build a factory, if you're going to buy a durable good, what have you, is the interest rate you pay minus the inflation rate. So if inflation is growing faster than the interest rate, right, in real terms, your debt service cost is going down, if you want to think of it that way. So that real interest rate is a measure of what's the actual tightness. And so if you set the rate at some level and then inflation just keeps going down and down, every time inflation comes in less than what you expected, you're tightening. Right. And that means right now we're the tightest we've been over this whole rate
even though you
cycle.
Stopped hiking rates in July 2023, you've been putting more and more pressure on the economy.
More and more as the inflation has come down. And the thing is, we set the rate more than a year ago, and the conditions were really completely different. And you saw Chair Powell talking about that. He just kind of walked you through the history in a very clear way of how different conditions were 14 months ago.
Right.
And so I still think, not just for this meeting, over the next calendar year, let's say, I think it's worth looking at the statement of economic projections that the committee has been putting out every 3 months. In those statements, there's widespread agreement that there will be multiple rate cuts over calendar years 24 and 25. Inflation would be coming down, and the unemployment rate would be creeping up a bit and settling in. And it's worth noting that that's under conditions where the inflation rate was coming down slower than it's been coming down in the last several months, and the unemployment rate is already a bit higher than it was. So I kind of think this moment, I thought the spirit of Chair Powell's speech of, look, this is the moment. Everything that we've been wanting to happen, this is the path to that happening.
Right. So what does that path look like? How much tightness, how much extra tightness is there in the economy right now?
It's hard to put a specific number on it, but to me, it doesn't look neutral. I mean, you've got the unemployment rate drifting up above what people thought was a steady state rate, not even just a few months ago. Now, hopefully that turns out to be a bit of a blip. It was an unemployment rate increase that wasn't driven by an increase in layoffs.
Right.
So maybe it would go back down, but that, taking the job market in totality, I think that's a critical thing for everybody to do. That's certainly what I'm trying to do. And by almost all measures, the job market is cooling, and we're in this thing where it's like, it's cooling and it's supposed to settle down at normal, either what it was pre-COVID or something like that. And we how much confidence do we have that it's going to stop there, or is it going to keep?
So let me ask the question more directly, Austan, which is the market has 100 basis points priced in for this year in terms of cuts, another 100 for a full 12-month period. Are those aggressive? Are those neutral? Are those right?
I guess I would just say, I don't like committing ourselves of what will be the rate cuts at the next meeting. This sounds like 5 meetings from now.
Yeah, and there's a piece of paper I'd like you to sign here.
The statement of economic projections and the dot plot, I just encourage everybody go look at it. We've been saying, we've been trying to transmit each individually reaction functions, and they show multiple rate cuts over the next calendar year implicit in those projections.
What happens if you get stuck at 2.4% inflation? If it doesn't come down, if 2.5 is the best you're going to do and you're cutting rates and you're stuck?
Look, it's a hypothetical, and in that hypothetical, it depends what's happening on the other side of the mandate. But let me just emphasize, I don't think that's going to happen. There were a group of people saying we're going to be stuck at 3, and they were so convinced we'd be stuck at 3, they said the Fed should go change the target and declare victory because we would never get below 3. We never stopped at 3. If you take the new months coming in, I think the inflation expectations show you that the market does not believe that we're going to be stuck at 3 or 2.5.
I want to get back to your comment at the very beginning. The Fed chair said rate cuts. Has he locked you in or locked the committee in, pre-committed?
I'm not allowed to speak for anybody else on the committee. I don't know.
Do you, Austan Goolsbee,
You're asking me what am I for, and I try to resist committing myself. Here's how I'm going to say or what I'm going to vote.
He has talked about the idea that rate cutting is a process. You wouldn't do one, he said. You would do a series one. Do you agree with that idea, that rate cutting is a process?
Historically, it has been a process for sure. And if you look at the dot plots, it's clear that a large majority of the FOMC, if not every single member, believe conditions are going to warrant multiple cuts over the next 12 months. And both of those things I feel pretty confident about, but what drives the decision are economic conditions. Conditions could change, and that would be different.
Austan, we have to go, but give us an idea if we have a chance to sit down here next year. What's the economy look like?
No, you just want me to commit to something.
No, I want to know what your best outlook is here.
I want my best outlook. What I want is that we hit the golden path, that inflation comes back to 2% and we don't have a serious recession. I do have concerns. There are concern warning lights from parts of the job market and the consumer delinquencies, small business defaults. On the other hand, we also have wide pockets of strength in the economy. So I'm hopeful that a year from now, we're still chugging along.
Predicting is hard, especially about the future, as Yogi Berra said. Austan, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, great to see you again.